Hey guys, and welcome to Gwent, the Witcher card game. My name is Jaggerous, and today I have a ranked Northern Realms deck for you guys, and that is an Armour Northern Realms Radovid deck I like to call Stennis the Menace, because we do run Stennis in this deck, and he can be a little bit of a menace. So this is the deck here, and the gist of this deck is that we have a lot of cards which buff other cards. For example, we have our 3 Temerian Drummers here. These, every turn, boost a random other ally. So we've got those. We have our Redanian Elites. These will boost adjacent units if these have armor. And if they get their armor removed, we can re-add their armor with something like a Thunderbolt Potion. Then we also have Redanian Elites. Whenever this unit's armor reaches 0, boost self by 5, deploy gain 4 armor. We've got a couple of Reaver Scouts to help us find the cards that we need or pull them from our deck for deck thinning. And we have the Dun Banner Heavy Cavalry, remove armor from a unit and boost self by the amount of armor removed. So we can use the Dun Banner Heavy Cavalry to remove armor, say, from the Redanian Elites, which then boost them. So we would gain armor from them, and we would boost our elites. Similarly, we have Trollololo. I don't even know how many lols there are in this, but we have this guy. Every turn, at the start of your turn, gain 2 armor. So we can play him and let him basically stack up a whole bunch of armor, and then once he's stacked up a bunch of armor, we can take the armor off him with the Dun Banner Heavy Cavalry. Then we have Stennis, the Menace. When you play him, you play the top loyal bronze or silver unit on your deck and give it 5 armor. So if you're lucky with Stennis, he could pull, say, a Redanian Elite, put some more armor on that. We can then take the armor off that, buff the Elite, buff the Heavy Cavalry. You know, he could pull Trollololo, put some extra armor on him, buff that, take the armor. So we have options for basically removing armor. We have Margarita, which we can use to reset and lock. We have reinforcements, which we can use to find a bronze or silver soldier, machine, officer, or support. So basically, soldiers, officers, soldiers, supports, basically anything except Margarita, more or less, and Thaler. Then we have Thaler for card advantage. And this is where things get a bit interesting, because I've got Dimmeritian Bomb in here. And the reason we're running Dimmeritian Bomb is because it's really good against Mulligan, and it's also actually good against the Mirror, because if they have the 3 Dun Banner Heavy Cavalry, these are ranged units. Siege units, so they have to be stacked, and we can use the Dimmeritian Bomb against that. But you might be saying, you know, Dimmeritian Bomb's not a great tempo play, but we actually have Vesemir play a bronze or silver alchemy card from your deck. So we can use Vesemir to target, draw the Dimmeritian Bomb, and basically cause trouble in decks that are running things like Commander's Horn or row stacking decks, effectively. And that's what I kind of like here. We've also got the Thunderbolt Potion, so then, you know, if we happen to be in a situation where we don't need D-Bomb, we can just pull a Thunderbolt Potion instead, add some more armor to our units, and buff them. So that's quite nice. On top of that, we have Lambert. It's actually Lambert. He's not like Camembert, like the cheese. Damage an enemy by 5 and damage up to 4 copies of it its side by 4. So this is really good, again, against Mulligan, because they often play the Blue Stripe Commandos, and you have, you know, 3 of a unit out at once, and then once they're boosted, you can start whittling them away and get a decent amount of damage. It's good against Queensguard. We can use this to deal a lot of damage to Queensguard, and it's just generally worth more than the base. Base value, it's like 12 points, but it's easily worth quite a lot more than that. So again, I like him in this deck. Then we have Shani for Resurrect. This will allow us to replace Stennis or Trollololo, and we can always resurrect Stennis into whatever he draws. That's quite a good tempo play for final round. Similarly, Dijkstra, Dijkstra, he's a pretty good tempo play as well. Play the top 2 cards in your deck. So these are kind of going to be our win conditions outside of armor if we end up going into a short round. And then we're running Radovid as our leader, because again, he's decent tempo. He's a 14-point play. He's got locks. Locks can be very good against certain other strategies, and, you know, if you don't get much benefit from the locks, he's still worth 14 points. So pretty decent. That's the deck. I mean, I did play around with this deck in terms of gold cards and silver cards. I know people might, you know, tell me off for not running Marigold's Hailstorm, because that's also very good, but I feel like D-Bomb kind of achieves the same thing, but, you know, we can target draw it and stuff, and I felt like D-Bomb is often actually worth a lot more than Marigold's Hailstorm because of all the resetting, so that's kind of the strategy I went with. Although I guess you could instead run, say, Kira Metz. She'll give you a Thunderbolt Potion or an Epidemic. You could run Kira Metz and Marigold's Hailstorm instead of Vesemir and D-Bomb if you wanted to. Anyway, if you like this deck, hit that thumbs up button. And without further ado, I'm going to jump into a game and showcase this deck in action.
Checkmate.
Okay, so we're up against Dagon, which is interesting. Now, Dagon's not too bad in that we have Redanian Elites, and Redanian Elites are really good against weather. In terms of our Mulligan, because we have both of our Reaver Scouts, we don't necessarily need to hold on to all of these, you know, drummers or all of these cavalry. We can actually afford to Mulligan some of these. Into a Shani is good. Reinforcements is nice. We'll get rid of this cavalry as well, Stennis. And all in all, this isn't bad. We can pull our second Redanian Elite with a Reaver Scout, and we can use those against weather, so this is pretty good. So without further ado, we'll just say that we are finished redrawing. And we want to probably bait weather onto one row here. He's likely to play fog, and we want the fog to be on the same row as the Redanian Elite. So what we can do is we can use the Temerian drummer to bait the weather. He'll go down to a 5, at which point we can put the Redanian Elite on the row, which is then a 6, and that'll start to basically just absorb the weather and slowly boost. So that's probably our plan here in terms of playing against this character. Don't really know what to expect from Dagon. I know some people have been running like a kind of Death Wish Dagon. That's something that exists, but I haven't personally encountered it in ranked, so this is going to be a bit of an interesting game in that we're going to be figuring it out as we go along. Come on, you can do it. Play some cards. Show me what you got. I believe. So yeah, he wants to play weather, and what we're going to do is we're not going to be putting these in the back row, because if we put these in the back row, that's going to make life a bit awkward. And actually, with the way he's done this, we can just straight do this. And we'll just pop that guy straight into the weather, like so. And that kind of sets us up quite nicely for these weather rounds. If he's very weather heavy, it's going to be a little bit awkward because we don't have, you know, a lot of clear. He's got his Wild Hunt Soldier increased by 1, the damage dealt by Frost on the opposite row. So he's going to be doing, I guess, 3 damage with Frost here. We could just lock this. And if we lock this, it's going to set us up okay for the kind of the tick. And that's actually okay. Because the thing is, doing 3 damage per turn, it means we are going to be taking a little bit of damage, which we don't really like. So we'll just Margarita this for now. I mean, we have Radovid for later, but we can just quite happily Margarita that. And then now the Frost is only doing 2. So weather strategies are definitely very interesting. If he frosts the back row, we're kind of okay because we can play the drummer and he'll get quite a few turns. Ideally, we want to play him for a lot of turns. That's a little bit awkward because it means the Redanian's not getting the benefit that we want. But, you know, now that she's dead, it's kind of okay, so it doesn't really matter. We would ideally like to bait a fog onto this row. But the question is he running fog? It seems like he might be going for a frost strategy. We don't want to pull our next Redanian Elite just yet. I think it's a bit preemptive. So I think what we'll do for now is we'll just play the Temerian drummer. And we'll pop him in the middle row.
Again and again.
And you can watch his janky walk there in all of his glory. Like, what are these leg joints? What is going on? I love this card. I love it because it's so bad. It's like, it's so bad it's good, you know? It's like my YouTube channel. It's so bad it's good. That's what we're going to go with here. Oh, dear. And this kind of also starts to negate some of the frost, because if we have drummers, we can basically use them to negate the damage a little bit. Is he going to go fog? Yeah, it's the fog. And that is exactly what we wanted to see him do, because now we just do this.
You one of us or not?
Boom. Look at that. And now he's blocking the fog because he has more strength than him. This guy's getting, you know, boosted every round, and I think Dagon started to realize that this isn't exactly what he wanted to do. He's dead, unfortunately. There's nothing we can do to save him. It cannot be done. But I think this guy is currently... Oh, he's not quite blocking the fog. I want to play the Redanian Elect on this row, but I don't want to play the Redanian Elect until the Redanian Elite is kind of out of the way. So then the question is, what do we play instead? We have reinforcements, so we could, you know, try and reinforce something. We have... Redanian Knight Elect, Heavy Cavalry, Thunderbolt Potion, Drummer. Maybe we just go for a Stennis strategy. We could just play Stennis. See what he pulls. It's not ideal, you know, we want to kind of keep up, but I think for the time being we're going to have to play something. Alternatively, we reinforcements a drummer. It's not the best play we could have made. We'll get the premium drummer. Or alternatively, we could have pulled Trollololo. It's not the best play we could have made, but ultimately our other plays are going to kind of block the weather kind of strategy that we're employing here. Because we need this guy to get stronger, and once this guy is stronger, we can then start stacking the middle row because of the fog. And this is kind of okay. I mean, you know, we're card up. We're quite a few points behind, but we are, you know, cards up. And then we can do this in here. And that's kind of setting us up really nicely with our armor. We also have Shani. I guess we could have looked to resurrect something, like a Margarita or a drummer, but at this stage we don't necessarily need it. We're getting, you know, a decent number of points every 2 rounds just from his weather. So I guess he's pulling everything to 1 row. So this is annoying because now this guy's not getting buffed and he's getting kind of hit, which is kind of awkward, to be honest. It might be worth giving up this row at this round at 1 card advantage, The problem is he'll probably play a bunch more weather on the future rounds, and we won't have Redanian Elites. So that's kind of what we have to look at here. Is this okay? You know, is this something that we're okay to deal with? Is the question. And the answer is 24 points. The answer is, let me think. He's going to get buffed, so he'd be a 14. We've got some tempo options.
But we're broke.
The thing is, we have to hope that the frost hits this guy and not this guy. So that's our kind of hope here, is that the frost hits the different target. That's kind of what we're going for with this play. I guess what we could do is we could have played the Stennis in the front row, which would absorb the frost, and then whatever he pulls we can play. That would have been a good strategy. Come on. Oh, come on. Really? 17 points. Can we do it? Can we do it? Probably not. Probably not. 48. So we have to go 2 cards down to win the round. I don't know if that's really worthwhile. I guess it is. I guess we commit to it. We're kind of here now, right? We're kind of here now. Whew. Right, well, we can dry past the next round. He's not got any carryover. So we can dry past the next round, and that'll give us 1 card back. And then we have Shani into... what's it called, which is a pretty good power play. We have Shani into... That's such a good draw. Look at all these gold cards. We have Shani into Stennis the Menace, which is a good play. I don't know, this is such an awkward deck to play against, so I'm kind of winging it a little bit here, as you maybe can tell. We don't have a lot of weather clear because not a lot of people run weather, so this is kind of a challenging matchup. But I think we can, like I said, I think we can Shani into Stennis. We've got Vesemir into D-Bomb should we want it. Alternatively, we'll pull a Thunderbolt Potion. The only thing we have to be careful with is our mulligan here, in terms of what we draw. Because if we mulligan this and pull D-Bomb, that's a bit awkward. We got Thaler. That's still a bit awkward.
Naivety is a fool's pleasure.
Yells into probably Golden Weather. Corinthia. Okay. That's not great. I guess you'd go back row because he knows I'm going to play things on the back row. Apparently not. So I guess we Thaler, right? Or do we wait? Do we not Thaler? The alternative is we don't Thaler. And if we don't Thaler, the reason we don't Thaler is because we can maybe win without playing him. I guess we see where we stand, right? Let's go Stennis. Stennis the Menace.
You stand before royal
Oh, that is a nice pull. So Stennis into this, like that. Shani, because Shani gives this guy extra armor, and then we have a 26-point play there. So Shani gives him 5 armor, then he gains 5 armor when he deploys, then he reses the heavy cavalry, which then takes the armor and becomes a 15. That was a 26-point play. It's pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. Okay, he's played his spy, which means I'm actually probably okay to play mine this round. And it does give us a little bit of choice, which is good. So potentially what we'll do is we'll play this now.
I see you've thought.
Do we want D-Bomb or Thunderbolt Potion? We want Thunderbolt Potion. We don't want D-Bomb. What are we going to do? Reset our own points? Like, this is one of the matchups where D-Bomb's not so useful, and where thing might be. This is still okay. This is still kind of okay. Oh, Scorch would be so nice right now. I guess we Vesemir into Thunderbolt, right?
Tomfoolery! Enough!
And then buff the back row. I guess I could have buffed the front row because the armor would have protected the... Maybe I should have gone for the middle row so the armor would have protected these units. But, like, the heavy cavalry is currently already protected, so it's kind of okay. That is a low tempo play, so this is okay. And these guys all have armor. Let's go for Dijkstra. DJ Extra. We'll put him in the middle row. Just maybe make him think we have Marigolds. And hopefully not draw D-Bomb. Drummer and Trollololo. Not bad. Not bad at all. As Geralt would say, not bad at all. And this is what I mean, like we have plays that give us a lot of tempo. I can lock this. We're just gonna straight lock this.
Checkmate.
Is there anything else we want to lock while we're here? It doesn't really matter. We're gonna deal damage to it. What do we want to damage? I guess we'll hit this guy. Like, it's worth locking the spear tip so he doesn't transform. 63 to 38. We have a bunch of points in hand as well. We can armor up either row, really. Lacerate. And we got this guy boosting every turn as well. So we armor him, it's going to protect him. He's dead, probably. But maybe we armor this, because this guy takes 1 damage. So this is only 1 damage, whereas this is 2 damage. So if we armor the back row, we're protecting us. But we put ourselves at more of a risk to debomb. But I don't think debomb's going to be enough. So let's just do that. Do you have 20-something points? Probably about 20 points, because I'm going to take... Well, no, I'm taking 1 frost damage. It's not enough. Huh, well, there you go. We win. I had no idea what I was doing in this game. Completely no idea what I was doing. But, seems like it worked out. Seems like it worked out. And, this is the thing with Armour. You can kind of afford to go a couple cards down, you know, into a dry pass like that. And then we have a lot of tempo with our other cards such that it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that was that. That was obviously a much less structured game than I intended to show you guys, because I assumed I would actually know the matchup. But without further ado, I'll jump into another ranked game and showcase this deck in action once more for you.
Of course, friend.
Do not test my patience.
Okay, so we have King Bran, which might mean Camby. We're in a good position against Camby with this deck, to be honest. We're looking for, ideally, Lambert, because Lambert goes really well into Queensguard if it's Queensguard. We have 2 Dun Banner Heavy Cavalry, 2 Temerian Drummers. I think we'll mulligan one of our cavalry, we usually want them later. Mulligan a Thunderbolt, and probably mulligan the other Thunderbolt. You know, this deck doesn't necessarily do a lot of damage, so we're maybe not too worried with discard about removing our armor. And we don't have any Knight Elects anyway, so let's mulligan this. Reaver Scout. Okay, so we can get a nice setup with drummers this turn. So we'll start with opening with a drummer. I mean, he's not going to boost anything this turn because he boosts allies, but we can basically get set up with this, and that's okay. Another strategy would be to go with Trollololo, but the thing is, they often run... They often run... What do they often run? They often run...
Just standing here.
Coral, which means they'll just transform us. So this is Queensguard. So ideally we want to find our good friend Lambert. Let's pull out with the Reaver Scout another Temerian Drummer. We may as well thin rather than playing from our hand if we can. That's generally seen as preferable. Look at them. Look at them. They're having a great time playing their drums. Just wandering.
You're good.
There come the Queensguard. And this is, like, it's a tempo play, but it's not really enough. We can then play our last drummer. And now that the drummers are set up, you know, we're getting 3 points per turn. There's a boat. We can just Margarita the boat. So let's do that. We have Radovid for Camby should he play it, so
I'll gladly help.
we may as well just get ourselves, you know, into a nice position with this. He basically what he wants to do is buff his Queensguard, so he has 1 like hench Queensguard.
What can I do for you?
So this is, it damages the unit to the left and strengthens the one to the right. So let's just do that. Who takes an interest in cobblers? I think we want Redanian Knight Elect for now. Again, he's not boosting, so it's fine. You can have a Fat Thaler. And this is the thing, like, we can put a spanner in his works regardless of what he does. We've got 7 cards, and, like, we're getting so many points per round at the moment, it's really kind of gross. We'll pop our Redanian Knight Elect in the middle row, just in case we choose to go with a Dun Banner Heavy Cavalry strategy this turn. But the thing is, because we've got so many points kind of coming out here, you know, we're in a pretty nice spot with all these kind of crazy buffs. We can actually Reaver Scout out a second Redanian Knight, and that would be pretty good.
Broke as shit peddlers.
And we'll put him in the back row. Just for, like, the amount of kind of attrition points we're getting here is pretty good.
Billion barrels of burning pitch.
You can see he's buffing his Queensguard, which is kind of frustrating. I mean, I'd like to not play Stennis this round, but I think we have to because we have to keep going, and I don't want to play Radovid in case he has Camby.
This is priceless.
So we got a Heavy Cavalry. We'll take the armor off of him. It's still, you know, it's not a bad play, and we're ahead. And now we're getting 7 points per round, so we can probably just pass here. Igni would have been nice. Look at those 2 12s. Is he going to keep playing? We pass here. You know, we're getting so many points per round that this is where we pass. Hopefully he keeps playing so we gain card advantage. Unless he's got Adrenaline Rush, I guess. Maybe it's not Camby. It might be Camby, though. I feel like I have to prepare for the eventuality of it being Camby. But then, if it is Camby, I can always resurrect Margarita. So maybe we do just play our... Radovid. You're gonna have to play something, buddy. Yeah, there's the pass. I'm not really surprised. I would have passed here. I'm getting so many points per turn. Like, it's not even worth playing into. Okay, so in terms of our mulligan here, what have we got? We've got cavalry, cavalry, Lambert. Oh, there's Lambert. This is so nice. I think we get rid of a cavalry. I think we can afford to mulligan a cavalry and try and find Dijkstra or reinforcements or... Oh, well, there's Dijkstra. Seems good. Seems good. Let's open with Trollololo. We could pass this round for card advantage, but the thing is... I don't know, I think we do better in longer rounds, and we're maybe better off bleeding them than we are letting them get their big resurrect. That's the thing. And we have enough options here that I don't feel too bad. I mean, we could just dry pass and get card advantage, though. Which means if they play Camby, we're in a better position. We should probably just dry pass. We should probably just dry pass. Seems like a good plan.
Bow before modern Freya.
Resurrect into... Shieldsmith. But, like, what are you going to buff with the Shieldsmith? This guy. I guess they have another Resurrect for their Queensguard, so they're not too worried. I mean, this is worth, let me see, 7, 5, 4, 4. Ugh. 20 points? 20 points. This is decent. This is decent. Redanian Elect. I don't really want D-Bomb. That's my only concern with doing this, is I might pull D-Bomb. Reinforcements is good. This is a situation where D-Bomb's not good. What have you got? Avalak.
You will see it.
Okay.
Dream.
Potion. And a knight. I guess we're playing most of our cards this round, you guys. So let's just open with Trollololo. If he, you know, transforms it, he transforms it. But if he can't transform it, you know, at least we're starting to get that armor stacked up, such that we can pick it up with the cavalry.
The gods won't be pleased.
Udalric, okay. And he can't Camby because we have Radovid. So this is okay. In which case do we Shani... We could Shani Stennis, which will give us a Redanian Elite or a Redanian Elect, right? Which isn't too bad. Or we could just draw our own Redanian Elect with reinforcements. I think we should probably just Shani Stennis. I shouldn't have put this in the back row. I should put this in the middle row. Stennis the Menace. I want to set it up such that I've got 2 units so that if I do get a Redanian Knight Elect, I can like start buffing things. Oh man, look at all this armor. Num 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 num. We can eat it with these guys. Because we can put the Redanian Elect kind of in here, and then if we put him in here, then he'll start buffing these 2, and then if we potion him, he's nice and protected from armor removal. I don't think that they have... I feel like if they had Coral, they would have done it by now. Although maybe they're, you know, waiting on the Coral for a fat Dun Banner Heavy Cavalry. Either way, I feel like we have a lot of points this round, and I think we're in a good position. Even with the potential resurrects of the Skellige.
Modern Freya is patient, but she brooks no insult.
So you have to resurrect your Queensguard at some point. I'm not going to kill them just yet. Like, I'd rather wait with Lambert. I mean, I don't think that they're going to apply armor or anything to them. That's not typically what they do. That's the only risk, is that they might put armor on them. Let's reinforcements. We want to, you know, get this sort of stuff ticking as soon as we can. So ideally with Dijkstra, we would pull Redanian Elite and Vesemir. Worst case scenario, we pull D-Bomb and something else. Because Vesemir will pull the Thunderbolt Potion. Oh, we put armor on 1. Fucking rude. Fucking rude. Maybe we just go for it now, because they're not going to die.
I'm in no mood to talk.
Boom. Boom. We got 18. It's not bad. He's in no mood to talk, you guys. I don't really feel like this is a good strategy. Like, his whole plan was like, let's have really big Queensguards and thin them. But because we got round 1 so easily, it kind of fucked that up a little bit. Which is kind of awkward for him. I think we maybe have to hold Dijkstra until later, so that we can, in case of Camby, basically. Although we can just lock Camby, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. Because we have last play. Oh look, it's Camby. Wouldn't it be a shame if I killed your Cambi? That would suck, wouldn't it?
To the dungeon with him.
Which row is better to debomb? Back row is better to debomb, so we'll hit this guy. Boom! No chicken. No chicken! At least it renews the Cambi. And yeah, so that's the kind of deck. Like, you kind of have counters to lots of different strategies with this deck. And that's what I really like about it. It's really strong whilst also carrying different counters. You know, we've got the locks in case it can be. We have Lambert for Queensguard. We have Debomb for Mulligan. You know, we have... What else? We have potions for armor. We have, like, decent number of points. It's just a very consistent deck. And it's actually a really fun one to play, I think. And it makes a nice change of place for Mulligan, as well as being competitive against Mulligan. Like I say, you can change it up. You know, you can always... put in Marigolds and maybe like Kira instead of the D-Bomb if you find like you're not encountering Mulligan a lot. But you know, with the current state of the meta, I was encountering Mulligan a lot, so I feel like it's worth teching against just to improve that matchup. If you like this video, guys, hit that thumbs up button and let me know what you think in the comments below. What kind of changes you'd make, what you thought of the first game. It was a bit of a mess. What you thought of the second game. That one I kind of knew the matchup much better, so it was easier. Let me know what you think. Beyond that, you can always subscribe to the channel, and you can catch me live streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jaggerous, and on Twitter @Jaggerous. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day, and hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ooh, look at that. Bye!